Hello, welcome back to Botany Manor, doing chapter 3. Just before we start that chapter, just getting everyone on the same page. So the developer of this game prided herself in creating a positive, upbeat game with no sinister backstory. And of course, that made us sort of wonder, maybe there is a sinister backstory to be found. And so we jokingly made out that Arabella Green might be a serial killer since there's no one around. She's a mad chemist. We also found out last time that she was experimenting with flash photography. She's only done 3. One was successful, which gives us a timestamp, and the other 2 were not. The farmer here was complaining that the cows were being spooked by seeing too many flashes, and so milk production was at an all-time low. But that would not have been happening with 3 flashes. Now the cows are over in that paddock over here, and they would have only seen flashes from this window, which means that the explosions were here in the chemistry set. Which also means it sort of makes sense why there's air purifying plants all over, especially here. So, as well as the rest of the manor. So, there's a bit of understanding there, which seems to indicate that Arabella Green is not a serial killer, and there's no sinister backstory. Arabella Green is a nice person. But I did actually find something sinister in this chapter we're about to look at, in a note you probably wouldn't have thought of. And so here we go. We're going to start the chapter, and the note actually, which has a sinister sort of, because this whole game's about injustices to women. So, dear niece, I have gathered a selection of my cherished toys and books, among them my beloved Piggy. I highly recommend the nursery rhymes. They are charming as well as educational, though I'll take no offence should they put your little one straight to sleep. With all my affections, Auntie Arabella. Now, you're probably thinking, well, where's the sinister intentions here? If you go back to the family tree, Arabella Mary Green, her niece is actually Florence Mary Hopgood, who is 27 years of age and is pregnant. The child's not born yet, so either she was raped or that's the only thing I can actually point down to. Anyway, carrying on, the wolf glove. High on the mountain top, so steep, grows a flower that's hard to keep. Its petals, delicate and bright, whistling in the wind with all their might. The mountaineers who climb up high listen for the whistles. Didn't get that. Whistles as they try. With every step they hear it loud. The wolf gloves howl, clear and proud, gilding them through paths unknown. Yep, whatever. So there's a little piggy. Also, because Arabella Green's niece had it out of wedlock, given that it's a Catholic, so abortion is not on the table as they're pro-life. And here we have a note. Dearest Arabella Green, how are you getting in on your garden? I hope it's not getting to be too much for you on your own these days. Our mutual friend mentioned you have been struggling to germinate the ash bloom. Have you tried making sure there is fresh compost in the pot? Stubborn seeds often need that to grow, which we actually grew that magical plant last time. I'll visit you sometime, and perhaps I can find a way to crack the seed for you. I can show you the book I've been working on at the same time. Charles Tucker Esquire. He seems to have a romantic interest in Arabella Green, and that comes up a little bit later too. Here we have to grow 2 more plants, and we got to find a secret hiding spot in this chapter. So we're just going to put the clue in. As I said, she may have been excommunicated from the church as well. You can solve this just from this page. So Basically, we're looking at the amount of sugar that needs to be added to a pot. We know that 97G is the pot that we use, and that's basically all we need. So we're going to grab everything now, because even with that one page, we can solve the puzzle. We'll put the plant that we need to grow in, and off we go. So we're going to grow pixie. Actually, did I go the right one? Yeah, we're going to grow pixie tears. So this is our fourth magical plant. So this is an orchard area, and she seems to be wearing herself thin. Like Arabella Green has all these interests, and now we find out she's interested in apple orchards, especially heritage apples. Now, heritage apples are extinct apples that have a specific type and are probably going to go extinct. Heritage apples, there's over 1,000 of them. To date, over 1,000 apple varieties have been discovered, with an actual origin tree being found in each case. So this is something that Arabella Green is interested in. She's interested in growing nearly extinct apples. And here we have a variety of the different types pictures. And if we come here, we can see the sugar grams of each apple. Now remember, we need 97G, so Knobby Russet, Cat's Head and Merlin's Mist will actually make 97G of sugar. So if we grab Knobby Russet, which is the pimple one, and I think that's the Merlin's Mist. And that one, and the other apple is over here somewhere. There we go, Knobby Russet. So those are the 3 apples that you need, and then you just press the thing down. I had fun putting all the apples in. There, just pushing it. And there we go, we've grown our new plant, the next magical plant. And it causes butterflies to appear. Lovely. So this flower is closely associated with orchards. I wonder why. The pixie tears no longer contains chloroplasts, which are organelles responsible for photosynthesis. Instead, the pixie tears obtain sugar through their roots, which it commonly finds in the apples from the orchards. So as I said, that each of these magical plants seem to be based on a true sort of mechanic of real life plants, and sort of. And I'll show that a bit later. But let's take this back and get the Zen Shui going in our special orchard room. So if we come back. So there's 5 chapters in this. We're doing chapter 3. So, alright, where are we going to put this one? Where's the best? No. Oh, I like that. Oh, actually, I like that a bit better. I don't know why. I think that's, getting all the positive vibes going. So let's go, and we've got one more plant to go. But to get to that plant, we got to find a secret passageway. So if we continue on over here, these are also clues, but we didn't need them. This shows the pixie tears, and basically that was a sketch. I'm not sure why that is needed, but I think it's a clue as well. Chloroplasts in the world of plants, the sun is the ultimate source of energy. Chloroplasts, small organelles inside the cells of a plant, are responsible for capturing the light from the sun and converting it into sugar through photosynthesis. However, not all plants have chloroplasts. Some plants rely on organic matter for their energy and do not photosynthesize time, and have instead adapted to obtain energy by absorbing sugars through their roots. This is therefore recommended to add a certain amount of sugar to the soil. And this is some of the plants in real life that do that. So this is one of them. I think this is called white glove from memory. I'm not sure about that. But it doesn't photosynthesize. It actually grabs the nutrients from the roots. So that is a real life mechanic of some plants. So this game really did do a lot of homework. And it's going to be shown really soon in the next one or two things. You can click on that. I don't know reason why you were going to click on that. History of England by A.E. Strickland. Back in the Middle Ages, during the reign of Queen Elizabeth, all Catholics were persecuted by law. Therefore, some households built secret rooms in case they needed to hide a priest that was visiting their family home. Many of these so-called priest holes were designed and built by Nicholas Owen. Only the owner of the house and Nicholas himself knew about the location. Because of this, it is thought that there may be undiscovered priest holes throughout England to this day. And this note, Lady Arabella, thank you for inviting me to Botany Manor last Monday. As a historian, I found it wonderful to see an authentic medieval manor, especially one as beautiful as yours. I apologise again for not being able to locate the priest hole in your house, although I am convinced it exists and we will find it one day. It won't be easy, they tend to be hidden well and sometimes... Yep, whatever. So this is Anna Strickland. This is a person who wrote books, especially about the Queen of England. This is what she looked like. She would have been alive at the time of Arabella Green, I think. And you can see the books that she wrote. Now, she didn't write about Nicholas Owen, but Nicholas Owen was a real person who was a Jesuit, and he died a horrible death. He actually built thousands and thousands of secret chambers in various homes so priests could hide in. They were elaborate, and some of them were huge to hide a number of priests. Some of them only a single. But as I said, he died a horrible death. But you know what? He was a good person because he, even under extreme torture, he never gave away. He never gave any information out. So huge amounts of priests, Catholic priests, owe their survival to him. So this is one example of what a priest hole would have looked like. It would have gone down to a tunnel like this. And if you go, it was lit by torches or candles. And if you go continue on, you would go to an underground room like this, where a number of priests could hide. It might have had bedding or shelving units like this. There was often one or two ways to get out. And these were common, built under all... over 1,000 houses in England, over 1,000 buildings. So quite crazy stuff. And Arabella Green has one in her property because she's Catholic. Lady Arabella, I have received your request for repairs to the roof of your garden tower. Alas, I must confess that I am not the man to undertake this task. It may have escaped your notice that the tower in your is believed to have a poltergeist that dwells within its walls. Legend says that the spirit is evil and brings ferocious winds upon anyone who dares enter the tower. I don't want to provoke the wrath of the ghost, and I advise you to refrain from meddling with the tower. Willie the Builder. Don't worry, no sinister. That sounds sinister, but no, there's nothing supernatural to this game. Okay, let's add. So we need to grow the wolf glove, the big tower on the left, but we'll go back to that. So let's have a look. We might as well put the soil in. Haven't got the plant yet. Okay, so here, this doesn't seem to make sense. What we're looking for is what wind we need to create for the flower to grow, basically. Here we have the Botanist guide, and we know that these are the wind speeds of all these different Alps, but we don't know which Alp contains the flower that we need. So to do that, we need to actually go forward. Let's go in here. So the stairwell is broken. We don't know what happened, but we can't get down there. We've got a key, so this gives us access to another place in the building. As you can see, the staircase of the orange whatever collapsed in your absence. I have already written to the builder in the hope he wants to sort it out, though as you know he can be difficult to pin down. I do apologize if this is getting in the way of your research. I don't suppose you can find another way into the bottom level. Hint, hint, hint. And here we have, so the clue is this was sent by Natty Golding, and she gave the stamp of where she came from. Dearest Arabella, we made it to the Alps. We are so sad that you couldn't join us this time, but we understand you are busy creating your herbarium. Yesterday we were lost on a hike until suddenly we heard a strange whistling tune. We followed the sound, and soon enough we discovered it. Well, it was coming from a tiny flower. If only you have been there to tell us what kind of flower it was. So that's there. Now, you can see the priest hole right there. How could she not find that? It looks like a door presented in the but unfortunately it's locked on the other side, so we actually have to go another way around. Before we do that, we're going to come in here to the open the place, and this is where Arabella Green has started building. So the manor was constructed in 1593, which is what we need to know. You can see because Arabella is making a book, this is her gallery where she's starting to do some hand painting. We've seen some examples of the books that she's trying to make. Now this was a love letter from the person before, Charles Esquire. My dearest Arabella, in the gardens fair, you grace the scene, a flower rare. Your presence beams with radiant light, a lily's charm so pure and white. Your hands like petals so soft and fine, in tender touch a love divine, and in your eyes a brilliant glows as daisies fair in spring repose. Oh, how I long to have you near, to cherish you, my heart sincere, like roses freshly cut you'd be, the trophy of my home, with glee. Really? That's sad. Arabella, don't go for Charles Esquire. Meadow Orchards Research Team, 1862. John Montague, Anne Montague, Robert Brown, and Arabella Green. Dear Miss Green, your research proposal on the structure of coastal plants was of quaint interest. We have no plans to fund a small project like this, but perhaps if you are set on botanical field work, you might assist Professor Montague in his work on British meadow orchards. I'm sure your natural aptitude for domestic duties would be much appreciated. Might I also recommend John Linley's book, Ladies' Botany, a familiar introduction to the study of the natural system of botany. It is an elementary book for unscientific readers, as one I have heard is a suitable amusement for ladies such as yourself, being about a mother who wishes to teach her children about plants. J.W. Surtees. And that, unfortunately, is correct. So there was a book made by John Linley so that women can teach their children, because women, and it was simplified because women don't have that ability. Wow. So that was the sort of prejudice that Arabella Green, prejudice against women, grew up in. So, and here was a lady that wanted to get in that industry because she just had a love of botany, but people were saying, well, it's too scientific for you. So we can see that she's getting into watercolors because she wants to make an exceptional book on it. I was wondering if I could join Mr. Bennett into town later this afternoon to place an order for a new kitchen scale. The one we have is rather ancient, and I'm afraid it's measuring flour to make my delicious scones. If you could let me know your decision before the afternoon, that'd be lovely. In your service, Miss Patterson. So we know the groundskeeper has a thing for cook, and we know she was crying for some reason, and he's trying to console her. So they're going into the city. That's why they're not around, not because Arabella Green is a serial killer. Which we never thought that, surely. Everyone knew we were joking, right? What else? And when she requested to go on that field trip, the reply was, maybe you can do duties for them, like wash dishes. So this is a poem by Nicholas Owen, you see. Blessed is this kitchen by grace and holy light. May all those who enter find comfort and respite. Blessed is in the hearth with laughter and with cheer. May the love here, dear, I don't know, be held forever dear to those who serve the Lord, who seeketh their sanctuary. Remember the year of construction, for this, friends, is the key. So I've already forgotten. Unfortunately, when the construction was made. So let's go back. What was it? 1593. Okay, so now the code is in here. What was it? 1, 5, 9, 3. And that will pull a lever up the top, which will open the case, and you can see that there's a special symbol according to on the door there, which shows this is where the Catholics priesthood is. This is where they were hiding the Catholic priests when Queen Elizabeth was torturing them, which I find strange because a lot of religions believe they're the only ones hated, but in reality there were a lot of religions hated, and there's good people in all religions. My Lord Grain, thou hast ventured mightily in granting me refuge within these walls, and for such favour I remain eternally indebted to thee. The cunning of Little John in his establishment of this sanctuary doth inspire awe. A saint he is to our brethren and sisters who have sought refuge from the harsh rule of Queen Elizabeth and King James. Pray, extend my gratitude unto thy cook for the sustenance provided, a welcome respite from Brother Muckle's oft-repeated fare of leeks and potatoes. With the most earnest of thanks, I entreat that this missive shall not mark our final communion, and that our faith may endure unbroken. Yours with devotion. And that makes sense, actually. It was connected to the kitchen so that the cook could secretly look after the priest because it was their guest. But yeah, that's great. That's good job. So we're in the orangery now. We've got the seeds for the wolf glove. This is the other magical plant that we need to create. This can be quite confusing because there's a lot going on here. So basically what you need to do is get this. This is what was on the stamp, and if we have a look, we see it was the Wyzorn. So that is where Nat Golding was when she found the flower. There's the Ladies Mountaineer Group. The Society for Botanical Science meets every second and fourth Wednesday from 6 o'clock at the Assembly Rooms in Stroud. A prospective applicant must be supported by 3 existing gentlemen of the Society, along with evidence of research showing his dedication of the advancements of the science of botany. Widows of existing fellows receive honorary membership to attend annual social events. This month's lecture is on the importance of whatever. I think it was just referring to the fact that, women were given honorary, but today marks the beginning of an intriguing adventure as I join Professor John Montague, his wife Anne Montague, and fellow botanist Robert Brown on our field trip to study British meadow orchids. Everyone's enthusiasm for the subject is infectious. Today, Professor Montague gathered all of us to examine a southern marsh orchid, though upon arrival I noticed it had a much more hooded appearance and could be a new species entirely. When I pointed this out, Professor Montague laughed and explained he was simply testing us. Yeah. Do you think she'll get the acknowledgement for discovering a new species? No, he will. And that is, this game is presenting all the... So if we go down, Mount Weisenhorn was 40. Right, there we go. And if we have a look here, 40 has that window to create that sort of wind in the tower. So that's how we solved this puzzle. And that's the sort of prejudice that I forgot the plant. Silly me. So we grab the plant, water it. Nearly there. Nearly finished this chapter. We've got 2 more chapters to go after this guys, and then game is done. Sorry I took a few weeks. I actually got 2 weeks off work, so I should be able to get this one done in that time. So that's the window that you want to open up first to solve the puzzle. You do not want to open up a window on that second level. You do not want... Oh yeah, you want to open up both windows on the third level. 4th level... You want to open both windows as well. And that's it. That's all it is. You can go up, further up, if you want. That's the wolf glove that makes noise. I don't know if there's any plant in real life that makes noise like this. So I couldn't find anything that this was based off. It might be based off a real plant, but I couldn't find anything. But there's our second beautiful plant. There's our collection. And now we can go up. And we've got a package. Yay, another package. Let's go. Wonder what's... This is exciting, cute, exciting music. Gatehouse delivery. Let's go. Let's find out what the new thing is. So this is the most time-consuming elevator ever. I live in an apartment building. Elevators haven't improved. Most times they don't work. I can assure you. You often have to take the stairs. Elevators always break down. Okay, let's go. Go. Let's put this in. Let's get the feng shui going again. Let's get the Zen complete. Where are we going to put this one? I don't sit down. No, I'm not keen on that one. What are they? I think maybe here. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, that looks that got my eye. It brings up the corner beautifully. It gets the whole Zen harmony going. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I am not qualified Zen, I can assure you. Dear sister, I am so glad to hear you have returned safely from your travels. While you were away, I changed the code for the library door lock each time I visited, as I know some of your grandmother's valuable items are kept in the secret vault. We got a priest hole, we got a vault. Who are we? The new code for the door is the 3 initials of my name to make it easy for you to remember. I hope we can meet soon. I look forward to hearing all about your adventures. Your loving sister, Elizabeth. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Break open the secret vault, which will lead us to the next chapter. But there's a little bit involved here, so we'll quickly do that. So if we go to the family tree again, Elizabeth Ann Green, but she's married, remember? So it's actually Elizabeth Ann Hopgood. There's the trick to the puzzle. So if we go up here to, I guess, the library, and we put E-A-H. A is already there, so we don't have to do that. And then open, enter, doom, done. What do we got in here? Oh, we got bugs. Oh, shit. Arabella Green just is all over the place. Thank you. Oh, that's nice. Who sent this? Dear Lady Green, thank you kindly for the flower books you sent my daughters. To this day, they still show an interest in learning more about plants and painting. I am keen that my daughters have access to a good education, so I hope you don't mind me putting it upon you that you might be able to teach them somehow. Your dedication and knowledge seems so rare and inaccessible elsewhere for young girls like mine. I hope you will consider my proposal. Sincerely regards, Olive Campbell. Now, she's probably put that idea into our heads, or she's nurtured an idea that we were already thinking of anyway, because we're looking into now modern methods of teaching. So we may have even started off with that basic book that where women teach are able to teach children, and now we're going to look at doing it legitimately for ourselves. Anyway, that leads us into chapter 4. That's it for this chapter. We've grown 2 more plants. Save it there, and I'll see you next time for the next chapter. Until then, bye for now.